All right, good morning. Time for some affirmation stuff. I'm so excited. My Aunt Marcie sent me a few daily reflections books from her archives. So I'm going to start there. This one's by Shakti Gawain, Reflections in the Light, dated for September 5th. Your channel opens wide, it says. Falling in love is actually a powerful experience of feeling the universe move through you. The other person has become a catalyst that triggers you to open up to the love, beauty, and passion that is within you. Your channel opens wide and the universal energy comes pouring through, and you have a blissful moment of enlightenment. The affirmation for the day: I am falling in love with life. And that really is the goal. So often we think we have to have another person to open that channel, whether it's a child, a family member, or a partner, a romantic partner, a friend. But the truth is, we can look at anything and open our hearts to love. I think that's why so many people love animals, because it's very easy to open that channel to love. But sometimes we think we can only do it in those spaces. And it's really important to remember that the more we can open the channel, the more we can do it in more places. And so if you are looking for romantic love, that is something you want to get flowing that love in as many places as you can. If you're looking at a tree, if you're looking at a friend, if you're looking at, one of your pets, and just thinking about how much you enjoy that feeling, that is going to continue to draw the romantic love you deeply desire to you. Another one, same author, called Awakening. All right, let's go with September 5th. Can you believe it's September 5th? I'm freaking myself out here. Okay. The money conflict. Ooh, love and money on the same day. I'm in. The two opposite polarities of male and female energy are often mirrored in conflicts about money in a relationship. One partner may be careful, practical, and very responsible with money. The other partner may be much more playful and free spending. This conflict can cause painful problems unless both partners can recognize that each one mirrors what the other needs to develop and begin to do the work to cultivate that opposite polarity. The question for reflection: do I have conflict with anyone over money matters? And what is it mirroring in me? That's absolutely fantastic. I love it so much. From an Abraham perspective, though, in a case like this, it's really about the resistance that builds up between the two. See, we think opposites attract, but the truth is opposites have a lot in common. Why is that? Well, they were using the term polarity. What that means is, think about temperature, for example. They would say temperature, hot and cold are opposites. But at the same time, they have a whole lot more in common than, say, tall and short, which are related to each other, but not too hot and cold. So there is a polarity, there is a connection between what we consider to be opposites that is actually the same conversation, which makes them the same thing, just sitting in different places or different polarities on that same vibe, right? So you can have cold, you can have hot, and you can have many, many shades of warm. And that's where we're always attracting people like us, but it can be difficult to tell that they're like us because they can seem very different in the way they engage with that particular energy. But they're usually going to have a very active energy in a place where you do. So something to kind of think about. It can be about learning to be more like the other person, but it's really about learning to also let people be how they are, because everyone is sourcing for themselves and drawing it forth. A playful spender is going to have much more abundant energy than a responsible spender. So a responsible spender may seem like they have more security overall. The playful spender is always going to have enough to live how they live. It's just a different choice in how we move through the space. All right, we're going to do one more. This is getting a little long, but that's all right. You can cut it off whenever you're set for the day. This one is Meditations for Women Who Do Too Much. Why not? September 5th, awareness/control. Discoveries have reverberations. A new idea about oneself or some aspect of one's relations to others unsettles all one's others' ideas, even the superficially related ones. No matter how slightly, it shifts one's entire orientation, and somewhere along the line of consequences, it changes one's behavior. It's by Patricia McLaughlin. So having a new idea about yourself or how you relate to others, it kicks up and unsettles all your other ideas, even superficially related. This is why I say the way you do one thing is the way you do everything. We often don't realize this, but it's true. And that's what this is pointing at. Once you upset one thing in your apple cart, other things will get upset, and somewhere, right? So no matter how slightly, it's going to shift your whole orientation. So that's the thing about changing. And oftentimes that's a deep fear we have that we don't consciously know of change that keeps us stuck as we go, wow, well, if I change something, what else is going to change? And that's the bravery where you get to push through. There's a great phrase that says, everything you've ever wanted is on the other side of fear. 100% true, can confirm. Does it take balls of steel sometimes to break down that wall of fear? Yeah. But when you get to the other side, the reward will be in kind to the effort required. How amazing we human beings are. One little change in any aspect of our life affects so many other facets of our being in as yet unimagined or undreamed of ways that we never really quite know where anything will lead. We say no to something at work that for many months we have wanted to say no to, and instead of the backlash we expected, we experience some subtle indication of respect. That's a big one. We certainly respect ourselves more. We break our necks to earn respect and admiration, only to discover that we really have no control over how others perceive us. It's a huge point in the female power evolution, like in this one already, because we work so hard for other people to love us and approve of us. And then at the end of the day, you're like, it was all a ruse anyway. I might as well have, been who I was or done what I really wanted. Our letting go of our illusion of control in even the smallest way reverberates through our lives. And that's what I was speaking about when I was talking about my breakthrough with posting content online, not particularly on this channel, but some other places, depending where I post this, actually, it could be here. But that my big breakthrough of posting things online that were embarrassing was really about me gaining in confidence and realizing exactly this, that you really have no control over how others perceive you. And I got to play that out in a lot of ways. So it became safer to be me, because I realized whether I'm saying what I don't think or I do think, I'm judged. So why not at least be me? But we really have to work through that, because we're trying to control how other people perceive us a lot. It gets us things. We can get a lot of things if we control how people think of us. And so we're all stopping at the superficial because we're all doing it. It's like this sort of unwritten code, like, well, if I don't look deeper, you won't. But everybody's miserable because you're not really controlling how people perceive you. You're just acting in a play, but it's your life. You don't want to act in your life. Like, that's why you go to the theater. Become an actor. They get paid for it. And you get paid for it, but not like them. Okay, so I know that gradually, ever so gradually, I am growing and changing. My life is much more like a mobile than a ladder. That's awesome, like a mobile RV. I love that. Each new discovery affects every aspect of my being. Oh, that's really fun. What a great reading. Okay, so it's all about the adventure. What I really got as we put all of that together is, wow, we had romantic love, we had the conflicts of money, and then really about just not controlling others around us, and letting go of it. They frame it for women, but it's something for everyone, right? We all want to master control that way, but by letting go of it, we actually gain it. And I think that's what I've been trying to put into words, or will try to put into words, by letting go of how people perceive me online, and letting myself be judged or attacked or whatever. You sort of, actually gain control of it, because it doesn't bother you anymore. And it bothered me so much before that really everyone else had the control. And so I think, well, I wouldn't say anyone else should do something like that. I think finding an area for you where you can safely practice being judged or breaking through this space, so you can let go of how people have you and you can just start being how you actually are. It takes up a lot less energy, guys. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and reheat my mushroom yerba mate coffee and jump on calls with clients. I don't know if I've brought it up here, but I've started my company and I'm working with clients and doing branded marketing materials, and it's really fun. But I'm also really scared because, anyway, I love you. I'll talk to you about that next time. Bye.